Christmas Eve, 1945. A house catches fire in Fayetteville, West Virginia. 4 children escape. 5 never come out. But when the flames finally die, there are no bodies, no identifiable bones. Nearly 80 years later, no one can say with certainty whether 5 children died inside that house or disappeared forever. This is the mystery of the Sodder children. Please subscribe, share, and turn on notifications for unanswered evidence. It truly does help. George and Jenny Sodder had built the American dream. Italian immigrants, successful business owners, 10 children, a respected family in their small town. Just after midnight, Jenny was awakened by a strange phone call. A woman she didn't recognize asked for someone who didn't live there, laughed and hung up. Minutes later, she smelled smoke. George rushed outside with 4 of the children: John, George Jr., Marion, little Sylvia. But 5 remained upstairs: Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, Betty. George ran for the ladder he kept beside the house. It was gone. He tried starting his coal trucks to climb onto the roof. Neither would start, despite both running fine the day before. Within minutes, the house was engulfed. Officials ruled it faulty wiring. Case closed. George and Jenny never accepted it. The home's wiring had recently passed inspection. The phone line, they later learned, hadn't burned through. It had been cut. Months earlier, a stranger had pointed at the fuse box and warned, "This house is going to burn." An insurance salesman, angry that George wouldn't buy a policy. That same man later sat on the jury that ruled the deaths accidental. The missing ladder turned up down an embankment, far from the house. Witnesses claimed they'd seen the children afterward with Italian-speaking adults. Others said they were served breakfast at a nearby hotel. Sightings were reported for years across multiple states. None were ever confirmed. The Sodders hired investigators. They wrote to the FBI. J. Edgar Hoover said the Bureau could help only if local police asked. That request never came. For decades, a billboard on Route 16 displayed the 5 children's photographs, asking drivers one question: what happened to them? The reward for information eventually reached $10,000. Tips poured in for years. None solved the mystery. In 1967, George and Jenny received a photograph in the mail. A young man resembling their son Louis, with a cryptic note on the back. George believed he'd found his son. The private investigator sent to follow the lead disappeared. Nothing more was ever learned. Officially, 5 children died in a house fire. The Sodders believed they were taken, and the fire was set to hide it. No remains were ever identified. No kidnappers were ever found. No witness ever closed the case. Nearly 80 years later, the fate of Maurice, Martha, Louis, Jenny, and Betty Sodder remains unknown. A family spent the rest of their lives searching for an answer that never came. What really happened on Christmas Eve in 1945? If this case caught your attention, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for unanswered evidence so you don't miss the next one. New cases weekly.